Hello, everybody. My name is Jim. This is More Sunshine, Please. How are you? Where am I? Oh, here I am. Hi, everybody. Too close. Much too close. It's Thursday afternoon, and I need some watch hours, so let's go live. I'm going to create, I've done this before, I'm going to create some thumbnails for some future shows that are coming up. I'm not an expert at Photoshop, but I'm going to use it to the best of my ability to create some thumbnails. One for my regular show on Tuesday evenings, and then another thumbnail for the Five Foolish Mortals show, which is coming up this Saturday. And I have an idea for that, so I'm going to try that out. But we'll see. Again, I am not an expert at Photoshop, but I've used it. I know some tricks. We'll see. Jason, Bridget, Uper Wisdom Videos, thank you so much for tuning in. It's lunchtime. I did not have lunch. I'm munching on grapes. I'm sorry. Let me mute. And I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so who else is here? The Sure 60, welcome. Good to see you. Rachel loves Disney. Jim, I'm sending fan mail soon. I cannot wait. For those of you that do not know, I've recently acquired a P.O. box. And my address is on my page somewhere. Sorry, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Tina is also here. My sister is here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Russ Stapleton, who probably knows more about Photoshop than I do, so this is embarrassing for me, but thank you, Russ, for tuning in. Absolutely, Rachel, post the P.O. box. That's fun. I just popped another grape in. I shouldn't do that. Muting. It's Joey's World. Hey, guys, just listening in as I do stuff. Thank you so much for doing that. Rachel, let me see what I can do about that. All right, hang on. Here I go. I've got to go to my page in order to make you a mod so you can post that. One moment, please. My channel. Sorry, this is stuff. I do have the Tomorrowland area music going. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll raise it up a little bit. Okay. I do have the Tomorrowland. Oh, that's my voice. All right, so I'll mute that. All right, try now, Rachel. Back to StreamYard. And Mike Wheeler, welcome to the show. Good to have you. Okay, so let me turn that down a little bit. First, let me get things on my screen ready. Okay, let's do this. I have Photoshop opened up here, and I should probably have it here. Why does it look different for you than it does for me? I can see what's going on. I can see a thumbnail that I'm working on over here, but I notice that you can't see it. What if I click this tab? Bizarre. Is it because I need to share that? That doesn't make sense. I've done this before. Everything's blank for you. I can see that. Oh, let's see. How about this? Okay, that is there. You can see the menus. Thank you for doing that, Rachel. All right. If I go to this, nothing for you. What's going on? Maybe I'll restart Photoshop from the beginning. Let me do that because it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, let's save that. Nothing's coming up, and I kind of need you to see all of this. All right, so if let me go back to me so you can see this. Let me close out of that and then reopen Photoshop. Grape time. Was that a pic from Tuesday? What pic are you talking about? Could you see a picture? Could you see a picture that I could not see myself on StreamYard? I don't know. All right, let me share the screen again. Okay. So there it is. I have nothing open yet. Let me open recent live stream. All right, now let me go to YouTube to see what I can see. And there's a delay. No, nothing. What is going on? This is embarrassing. Let me say hello to Amy from AJC Magic TV. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Now, Amy, my sister Amy. There's two Amy's in the chat. My sister Amy. Do you see something on my Photoshop screen? Do you see something over there? Because what I'm looking at shows a blank gray screen. Is that what you see, or do you see? Currently, I have my Tuesday night live stream template up there. Okay, you do not see it. All right. I guess that's good because then. But why is that? Darn it. I thought it might be something you did for. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Let me close out this. That changed nothing. Okay. It's bizarre that you can see my menus. Like I can move this around. Now, oh boy. Carlos, Disney World Freak. Happy Thursday to you. And Disney Nerd Herders. Thank you so much for stopping by. Although there's nothing for you to see apparently. So let's figure this out. Okay. What if I move Photoshop over to this screen and I move StreamYard to this screen? Just trying something out. Have no idea why that would work. Wait, where did Photoshop go? Okay, doesn't seem to have worked. But let me now go full screen on Photoshop so you cannot see my embarrassment. Russ says, is there another window in the share tab screen that you could that could not be shared? Could be thinking your file is another window or tab. Let's see. Let's stop sharing for a second. Let's start over. Share screen. Application window. I have 3 application windows to choose from. One is Chrome, which is running StreamYard. A second one is a tab I have open for YouTube. And the third is Photoshop. Trying to share it again. Nothing. Okay. This is weird. Let me close down Photoshop. Did I already do that? I may have already done that. I can't even remember. Let's see. Okay, so there's YouTube. All right. Restarting Photoshop. I would hate to think I'd have to restart my computer. Okay. Share screen. Application. Photoshop. Wait. There. All right, let me drag these over here. These are from Photoshop. All right. Okay. Seems really slow. Oh, did I lose everybody? Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Wait a minute. You can still hear me, but you can't see anything. Oh, this is the worst of everything. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut down my computer. I'm going to restart this. All right. Sorry, folks, but I'm going to try to be right back. I think I've got to restart my computer. And I think I'm back. We'll see. So sorry, folks. My phone says I'm back. All right. All right. I'm going to turn that down. This will be my monitor. Cynthia, welcome to the best show you've ever seen. Okay, good to go. Now, the purpose of that was to, that's what that is. Hopefully get my Photoshop to work correctly. So let's start that back up. All right. Okay, so Photoshop has started. I'm in danger of damaging things, aren't I? Okay, let's see. All right, so open recent. So let me open that up before I start to share it. Okay, back to share screen. Application window. Photoshop is not an option. What is going on? There it is. Okay. Then it disappeared. Everybody, you are saints for sticking with me through this. Share. Although I didn't see, I don't know about this. Let's say it doesn't work again, and it probably won't. Why is it different now than it used to be? What has changed? I have different monitors. Why on earth would that make a difference? But it is. Oh, I wonder if it has something to do with resolution or something like that. That'll be my next step. Okay. So again, you cannot see what I can see on Photoshop. Disappointing. So let's... Oh, thank you, Jason. I can eat the grapes without muting. That was more of a courtesy, you know. Okay, let me... see, I tested it out. I before the show, I tested out. Yeah, Photoshop. I can share it, but I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything opened. I just started Photoshop, and that worked, of course. So if I just go Photoshop, we close out that tab, start a new one. And yeah, that's bizarre. What? Let me explain what I was going to do and show you as I did it. Does this make me your favorite sister? You were always my favorite sister. On Saturday, we're having another episode of Five Foolish Mortals. Me and Charlie from Disney Nerd Herders, Derek and Gregory from D&G Explorers, and Ben from Pepper Tree Villa. And we are going to do a show kind of entitled Getting to Know Us. So with every Five Foolish Mortals show, I like to create a thumbnail where the five of us, our heads are on the singing busts that are in the Haunted Mansion attraction. And so last time we talked about the movie Onward, so I had an Onward theme to the thumbnail. Well, I didn't know what my theme could be for a getting to know you show. My first inclination was that I could do something with the song Getting to Know You, which is from The King and I. And I actually didn't know that until this morning. So I thought, well, I could take a scene, that scene from The King and I, and somehow incorporate that into the thumbnail I was going to make. However, so what I did, I actually got a couple of screen captures from that scene in the movie, and I was going to try to work with that. Let's see. Let's open that. Nothing. See, I can see right here. This is frustrating. All right. Stop sharing. If I... Wait a minute. My entire screen. Hang on. I think I've got it. Yes! Yes! I don't know what I did, but it's there. All right. Here's what I did. I'm sharing my entire screen, which is this monitor I have set up over here. I'm watching stuff on that monitor that's over there. I don't know why it's working. It just is. Okay, so here's the Five Foolish Mortals. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Thank you for sticking with me. Okay. Can you make yourself look like Yul Brynner? I don't want to make myself look like Yul Brynner. No, well, what I'm going to do, let me show you. I have to open up. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. You can see it. I'm going to go full screen for just a moment and show you what I'm going to do. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Okay. This is the scene in The King and I where this character, the lady in the big gray circus tent, is singing Getting to Know You, that song, right? So I thought I could put our Five Foolish Mortals busts in this room somehow. So this was actually the first screen capture I have. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so, but I want her out of there. I want everybody to be looking at us. So I want to remove her. Well, how do I do that? Again, I'm not a Photoshop expert. So here's what I think I know how to do. I get another screen capture where she's kind of off out of that original area where she's sitting down, and she's over there. So maybe I can combine these two images to have a scene where she is not in there. However, let me make this first level where she's over here more to the right. Let me bring the opacity down by half so you can see both of her images now. So she's sitting down here, and she's standing up over here, and there is a part of the screen where she's still down here. Down here, where her dress overlaps with each image of her dress. It's overlapping. So if I get rid of one, like, that's still going to be there. So the first thing I'm going to tackle is I'm going to get rid of most of her sitting down by using the image of the map that's behind her from the second picture. Let me go, let me bring the opacity up again. So it'll, so she'll be there. So I'm combining, I'm taking part of one image and using it to mask the other image. But then in both images, there's a part of her dress that overlaps. So I need a third image to mask that. Okay, so if you're just joining me, you've missed the best part. No, you missed the worst part. I just got this working. But thank everybody. Thank you all for still being here. Okay, so let me go back over here. So again, I can't stress this enough. I am not a Photoshop expert. So there might be a better way to do this, but this is how I know I can do it. All right. Again, so here's the image. I want to remove her sitting down there. I'm going to use this image to help me do that. So what I'll do is, what is the best way to do this? I keep looking over at the chat for Russ's expertise. I hope he can help me. I think I've got a plan. So let's do this. All right. So this is the first image. So what I can do is just roughly, I'll draw a line around here. Like this. I don't, this probably already, it's probably, oop, darn it. Let me, oh boy. Okay, so she is completely inside this highlighted area, and over here on the right, where my layers are, if I bring that first image over the second image, and I delete her from this image, let me see what that gets me. Okay, so that's all right. What's the best way to do it? All right, okay. What I did is I lined up these two images beforehand, so they the camera had moved a little bit, so I had to manually line them up. Maybe I should do this instead of deleting her in her entirety there. I should do it a little bit at a time. That's what I'm thinking. Pam's fam, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Shelly Starwalker. Pure Michigan. The Michigan peeps are in the house. There are at least 4 people from Michigan in the chat. Welcome. Let me undo that. Okay. Let me deselect. Okay, so what I will do on that first layer is I will get rid of this, let's say from the waist up, about there. All right, so if I delete that, it reveals the picture underneath. It reveals that. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So now let me deselect that so you can see what our image looks like so far. I can go a little bit more. I can delete up to these children, just roughly. If I delete that now, okay. But see what I've done here is on the very right, I've revealed a little bit of her from this image. So let me undo that. And let me get rid of that. Okay, so now if I delete that, there we go. Okay. I will deselect that so you can see our image so far. Again, if you're just joining us. If you're just joining us, I am trying to erase. Who is this actress? Deborah Kerr? I don't know who it is. I'm trying to erase her from this scene in The King and I so that I can put our 5 foolish mortal busts in the scene instead to make our thumbnail. This is a lot of work for this. No, I think it's fine. Okay, so again, if I reveal the picture underneath, all right, so let's now delete the area between these two children sitting up front. So I could just take this tool and highlight very crudely this now. And if I delete that, okay, let's deselect so we can see what that looks like. I'm going to zoom in to that particular area of the picture. By the way, if I spend an hour doing this and it still doesn't look right, this will all be for nothing. But whatever. Who cares? It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I'm looking at the edge of this child sitting here, and there's a lot to be desired, but whatever. Who cares? I'm just trying to get rid of this gray dress from this image now by revealing what's underneath it. Okay, so here on this child moves a little bit, and the dress is still in this area, so we'll have to do something else for that area, which I have a third picture for. We'll get to that in a moment. Oop, I got rid of all the images. All right, here we go. Alyssa Stenberg, welcome to the show. And Tina McNeil, still watching. I am, by last count, I am up to 71% of my needed watch hours. And I thank you very much for helping me out with that. And everybody that's been running my playlist. Not for nothing, for hours. Yes, indeed. Charlie, after last night's show, where are you with your watch hour countdown? I bet you're very close, if not there. And if you're not there, then we'll take care of that on Saturday. I hope. Disney Nerd Herders were much closer to their watch hours than I was, so they might be there. All right, let's see. All that talking, and I forgot what I was doing. Okay, so let's go over here and get rid of the dress between these two kids, because there's nothing there between them. All right. So let me just draw a very crude outline here. And I think I can delete that. All right, that's not bad. By the way, and nobody will be looking at this thumbnail in such fine a detail as I am, or as we are right now. So, Charlie says, one screen tells me I need 13 hours. Another says I need 85 hours. Oh, YouTube. Either way, so much closer than I am. But that's great. All right. What is here? I should delete. I should get rid of this as well. Okay, so let's. Let's draw a line around this because there's a reflection on the shiny floor of her. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Hey, not bad. Okay. That's fine. And I can soften these harsh lines up. I don't even know if it looks harsh to you, but and then when I zoom out again, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Whatever. Same thing's happening over here where her dress is reflecting on the shiny floor. So I could delete all this as well. And let's see what it looks like if I do. All right. Little by little. Let me deselect that. All right. I can't stress this enough. I am not a Photoshop expert. Nor am I a perfectionist. All right, a little by little, we're deleting everything we need to delete. All right, so if I... So there's a little bit here we can get rid of. Oh, no, see it revealed. And fix the size of that. Good. Deselect for a moment. Here we go. Let me bring in the third image now. Let me also... Oh, that's not what I want at all. I want to zoom out so we can see what the image looks like now. All right, so some harsh lines around these kids where they had shifted a little bit from picture to picture, but I'm okay with that. I could even probably... maybe it'd be best to delete them as well and reveal them in the picture underneath. Maybe that's better. Either way, again, not a perfectionist. I just play one on TV. Okay. So this area here, her dress is in both of the images. So I have a third image, and it's this scene later in the movie, or in the scene rather. The camera has switched positions because it's on a dolly and it's trucking left to right a bit. So the pan it panned up a little bit, and moved position, first to the left and then back to the right, following them as they dance. So what I had to do was scale it a little bit, and I also had to reposition it so it kind of matched what we want. So what I want really is the floor from this picture to replace the floor in this picture. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's going to go between those two kids here. So if I bring this underneath and reveal it, well, that's a problem. We'll deal with that later. All right, so now I can get rid of her. I can outline the remaining part of her dress here. That's what I think I need to do. So quickly, I'll just do this over here. And it goes up to there. Now I will delete this. No, I won't delete it. Hang on. I want to delete it from this image. So delete. And it should be this underneath. Okay. All right, better. It just needs to be repositioned. So what I'm going to do is reposition the picture of the floor underneath. Let me deselect. Move. All right. Okay, you can see. So if I line that up a little bit better, and I could blend it so it looks a little bit better. Again, well, also what I could put one of the pedestals here to hide this area, but right now I am just kind of lining up the background. So what I need to do now is get rid of this image, what I have labeled layer 3 here. I'll show you just, that's layer 3. That's what you see in the background there. All right. Monarch Moments, welcome. Thank you so much for being here and watching my nonsense. By the way, today's garbage day in my neighborhood, so if you hear a large waste disposal truck, that's why. I can hear it right now out in the street. Okay, so let me delete part of layer 3. I just need this part, so let me highlight it. Yeah, I'll actually select it. All of that. And if I delete that, yes, kind of. I am confusing myself, but let me undo that. I don't want to get rid of this. All right, so now if I delete it, that's better. Okay. Again, this is crude, this is rough, but I'm okay with it. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see our image so far. And, oh, I missed this. Let's get rid of that right now. Oh, I've got the wrong tool. Okay. We have, for all intents and purposes, deleted the giant gray dress from the scene. This is very rough down here, but I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. Whatever. Okay. So now what I can do, let me zoom out so I can see the whole image. Okay. And you can see there are multiple images here. What I want is just this now. So what I'm going to do is crop this image. So it's just what I want. Okay, so we'll bring this here. And enter. So there's our image. I could get rid of this down here. Don't care. Don't care about that. I can always hide that with something. All right. Now I'm going to save this as a JPEG, and I'm going to bring it into the Five Foolish Mortals. I'm going to call this No Gray Dress. Excellent. All right, back. Or no, I don't know about back, but let's go into my Five Foolish Mortals thumbnail template. And now what I'm going to do is open the JPEG I just saved that I called No Gray Dress. There it is. And I'm going to bring this into my Five Foolish Mortals template. And it's much smaller. So I'm going to have to scale it. It will reduce its resolution. It might not look great. Again, I can't stress this enough. I don't care. All right. Let me resize this. Control-T on the keyboard. I'm going to grab the corner of it as I hit Shift so I don't mess with the scale. So it stays in proportion with itself. So if I do this, if I bring this down here, and I move this image down below everything else, too low, much too low. All right, so there. So that's that can be a background. I can also zoom this in a bit. Maybe I will, so it fills the whole frame. Yes, I think that I will. Control-T on my keyboard, Shift, grab a corner, grab the other corner. Again, I don't know how many people are going to get this reference. Again, what we're doing for the show on Five Foolish Mortals on Saturday is a getting to know you. So we're going to ask each other a bunch of silly questions that really reveal nothing about us. Like, what's your favorite Disney park? Something like that. So we've got all these questions lined up, and it's, we just, for lack of a better title, called it Getting to Know Us. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the scene from The King and I where they sing Getting to Know You, that song, and incorporating it into our thumbnail for the show. That's what we're doing. If you were confused on what we were doing. Okay. So that's our background. So for the 3 of you that might get this reference. It's totally worth me doing this. Jeff Geek, good to see you. Welcome to the show. I have not been paying attention to the chat. I am so sorry about that. But it's good to see all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Is that right? There's 17 people here watching my nonsense. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, let me go back to this. There are a few things I see that I need to fix. One, let's get the big stuff out of the way. Our Five Foolish Mortals show on Saturday will be on the Disney Nerd Herders YouTube channel, so we need to change that. So I'm going to highlight that layer, select my type tool, and change D&G Explorers, which was the home of another show, and change that to Disney Nerd Herders. Okay. And you are listening to Tomorrowland area music, not mine. Disney Nerd Herders. All right, it's a little bit longer than D&G Explorer, so a bit of that statement is out of frame. But here's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight all of that. And originally, when I made this thumbnail template, I did it on a different computer. And when I brought it over to this computer, I didn't have some of the same fonts that I used. Originally, I had used a font that resembled a font used in the Enchanted Tiki Room. And it may have been called Tiki something. I don't know. So I think I installed that on this computer, so I'm going to look for it now and change it back to what I want it to be. But I can't think of the name of it now. I thought it was Tiki something. Enchanted, maybe? Enchanted. Oh, I know how I can... I'm going to open up a... I'm going to move this over here. Look at my downloads and see if it's in there. All right. No. Jungle. What's not in here? I wonder if I moved it. Safari? No, that's not it. Oh. Let's see. What is that font called? Hang on. Is it in this folder? Unlikely. I'm just going to have to search for it. All right. Let me see. What's it called? Blaine is here. I just saw you. So sorry. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let me start from the top because this is silly. All right. And even though our show has a Haunted Mansion theme, decidedly, I liked the look that Tiki Room font had on the thumbnail. I'm getting a phone call. I declined it. I don't remember the exact name of the font, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking through the list. And I don't know if it may be difficult for you to see. It looks so small. When I look at StreamYards, I'm looking at what you're looking at. Let's see. I don't see anything that rings a bell. Maybe I didn't get it. I thought I did. The one I used, the font I used for Five Foolish Mortals, that's called Ravenscroft. And whoever made that font named it after Thurl Ravenscroft, who is the voice actor that has the very deep voice of one of the singing busts. I mean, he's all over Disney, but he's got that really deep voice that you hear in so many attractions and movies in Disney World. No, none of these. What am I doing? All right. Yeah, I didn't see it, and I'm not going to spend any more time looking for it. So what I'll do is just keep the font that I have, I suppose, and I'll get that other font another day. But I need to make it a bit smaller so it fits entirely on the thumbnail. So currently it's at 90-point font. Let's reduce it to 85. Perfect. Why didn't I do that from the beginning? Because I like the other font better. Now, also, this new background that I have is really busy, and my concern is, are things getting lost? Like on the Disney Nerd Herders YouTube channel, it seems to be getting lost in all of the colors that are now in the frame. So I might just want to put a black background here. One moment. All right, I'm doing a little tech support. Did you email it to me? Is it raining? Holy moly, I just heard it. All right, I remember getting it the other day. Okay, here it is. Oh, you sent it, but I think I did get it eventually. Yeah, because I don't have the link. Sure. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Cats and dogs outside. Sorry for that. Tech support problem. All right. Back to this. Simply what I'm going to do, I could do other things. I could see the white outline of each letter. I could increase that. Maybe I will. Let's see what that looks like. So from this menu, if I do that, it does make it easier to see. All right, I'll just do that. Okay. Now you'll notice, let me zoom in here on the date. Derek. This has no shadow or there's no drop shadow. There's no edge to this. So I want to add one to make it easier to read on the thumbnail. So if I, let me zoom out just to prove my point here. Like that is not easy to read, or not as easy to read as I want it to be. So that's episode 5 over here. I want to change that font too. That's easier to read on the Disney Nerd Herders YouTube channel. That's much easier to read now because I've added that edge. I made it much larger so it stands out. So I want to do the same thing to the date and time. So that's what I'm going to do. So over here on the right, Eric Newman, good to see you. Let's see. Tina, I'm sorry, I'm just getting to some of these comments in the chat. Can you move the day of the show and episode number 5 in front of the map? I can. Oh, it will be episode 6. I need to change that too. Thank you for reminding me. Let's first give it the shadow and or edge. So that's this level. And it appears to have an outer glow. I don't know where it went. Okay, so outer glow. It's white, and it's a white font. That's why. So if I made that black, for example, and then I had reduced the opacity. Tomato. Oh, let's bring it all the way up just so I know what I'm working with. Its size. It's a very soft edge there, almost like a glow. But if I change these settings for spread and size, it stands out much better now. So let me stick with that. I can always change it. Let me go back to here. Is this the whole image? There we go. There, now it's easier to read. Well, before I move position or anything, let me change what it says. It will be... Oh, I don't have my phone now. What's today? The 4th? The 6th, right? June 6th. June 6th at 5 p.m. That stays the same. Okay. Oh, I need a space there. All right. And then episode 5 will now be episode 6. Let's change that. But I don't love that font for that. And to make it uniform, I'll just make it the same font as the date and time, I suppose, which is Myriad Pro. So let me change that to Myriad Pro. Oh, it's not. You played it on my phone?
You have to put no time?
You shouldn't.
Yeah. I always see it
in the library of watched videos.
I'm gonna check again.
Okay.
Try to put through.
All right.
What do I? It's not. Maybe.
You played it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. We're trying to get a video to play in the house of a video my daughter's teacher sent her. So I'm playing it on my phone because I'm signed into YouTube on my phone and my TV. So I get an email with the link of it on my phone. I play it on my phone, and then we go to the TV where we go to the recently watched list, so we can easily find it on the TV because it's set as a private YouTube video, so we can't just search for it. Anyway, so that's where we are. Thank you for your patience. All right, so Myriad Pro, I need to change this. There it is. Okay, and I must have that as a bold. And no, just bold. Yeah, there we go. That's better. But I don't want it that large, so let's reduce the size. Still too big. I want... Yeah, that's good. And then this, maybe this goes here on the map. And I also don't like how the date and time is covering Gregory and Derek's heads, or how it's over that. And I don't know why I did that. But I think I made their busts bigger. It worked? Excellent! It worked. They can now watch the video inside the house on the TV. I can move the date and time behind everything. Let's do that. So over here on the layers list, I can put it so that is now behind our singing busts. Let me move it over here. Right in the middle of everything. I want to move episode 6 out of the way. I can go back over here. Like that. Oh, just trying things out. I don't hate it. Like if it's obscured by us a little bit, I don't mind that. If I had hours and hours and hours, I would make it so that we were in front of the children watching us, but I don't have that kind of time. I think what I want to do is maybe make us maybe I don't know what I want to do. Let me go to the Five Foolish Mortals font, because that I think needs to pop a little bit more as well. It has a white outline. I want to make it black for this. I want to make it larger. Oh, look at that. Okay, the opacity is still down, which is good for some things, but I want it. I want these words to pop. No, I don't want that. What am I doing? Softer, precise. Let's do that. That's better. I'm going to move it up a little bit, so it's not running into my date and time. So now here's my thinking, so I don't have to do more work. The crowd in the picture is looking at the date and the time, and not us. Yeah, okay. Frankly, the exercise was just to remove the dress from the shot, and I did that, and I'm happy. And it doesn't make sense why we are in the room as well, but that's okay. Let me move us a bit lower in the frame as well. So that's all of these frames here. So I can highlight them all at the same time. I can move us a little bit lower. Yeah, like right there. That's good. I could put a glow around us as well to make us stand out. Do I want to do that? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to leave this as it is. You know what? This serves my purpose. I just wanted a thumbnail. Thumbnail's not that big a deal. I just wanted to have fun with Photoshop for a little bit. So that, although maybe not perfect, maybe not my best work, it will be the thumbnail for our show. So now I need to save this. Let's see. Save as. And I will just make it a JPEG. And it will be 5 Foolish, June 6th. Then I can send that to Charlie, and he can, because the show will be on his channel, and he can do with it as he wants. All right, next, I want to make a thumbnail for my Tuesday night show. There's not going to be a lot to do here, but this past Tuesday I didn't do a show, but I had things all set to go. Meaning, I've been doing a top 15 list on my show on Tuesdays. And for the thumbnail for my show, I incorporate something from that list. Well, I had not yet made a thumbnail for that show, but I had a list. So what I'm going to do now is make that thumbnail. Oh, Charlie wants to make us glow. All right, hang on. Let me go back. I don't think I could do it all at once. I'll tell you what. Let me start with Ben. Add an outer glow just to see what it looks like. I'll make it white. Full opacity. A spread of 6, a size 7, whatever. Oh, like that. Let's see. All right, I just have to do. I can do that. I just have to make. I have to do it separately for everybody. 107.21. All right. Now to me. $107. This is 21. I make it white. Okay, I can do this. I think I can. I don't think there's any other touching up I need to do. Oh, you know what the deal is, Charlie? Your busts are because you're the one whose head has come off the rest of the statue. You actually, yours is on 2 different layers. See, there's your head, and then there's the rest of the pedestal there. So if I put a glow around each of those, it's going to be 2 separate glows. So hang on. So I would have to make that one image. So the glow, it's one glow all the way around. Maybe just make Charlie glow because it's on his channel. I thought about that before I started doing this. Oh, now I'm looking at. Darn the delay in the chat. That was a few minutes ago. Don't bother. It's fine. No, I'm doing it. Okay, let's see. I can do. Let's do Gregory and Derek's glowing right now. 100 for this. This is 7. This was 21. It's white in color. Good. These look uniform. They all have the same amount of glow. I like it. I'm glad you suggested it, Charlie. Down to Derek now. And let me cancel that for a second. Let me zoom in on Derek so you can see the glow happen better. He'll be over here. He looks funny. All right. Double click. Outer glow. Normal. Make it white. Why does it default to that yellow? Is that something I've done in the past? 100. This was 7. Size was 21. Yeah. All right. Over to Charlie now. All right, let me do it. Let me show you if I add a glow to each of Charlie's layers here. Make it white. 100% opacity. The spread was 7. And the size was 21. All right. maybe having them each thing have its own glow, maybe that's fine. Let's look. Let's look for it. Let's look at it. Outer glow. Make it white. 100%. 7. 21. Because it's two separate pieces, I don't hate it. Let's zoom out. You know what? That's good. Oh, here's the thing though. Derek, at the base of his pedestal, there's some shrubbery there, which also has a glow around it. Who cares? All right, let's just let's save that now. Thank you for suggesting that. Charlie has double glow. All right, let's save that as the thing I just saved. All right, it was this. I do want to replace it. Okay. There was that. And we can save changes to... No, don't save changes. All right, so we no longer need this. Yeah, all right. Let's now make my thumbnail for my Tuesday night show. And that is this file. And it works. So this is the thumbnail from my last Tuesday night live stream, which was on May 26th. My next one... Where's my calendar? My next show will be on June 9th. So the first thing I'll do is change the date. Probably the color of that, depending on... I like to make the date a color, the font of the date, a color from the image behind it somehow. So anyway, what I was saying before was I like to put an image in my thumbnail from something that will be on my top 15 list. I'm not going to reveal what my top 15 list will be. I have it right here. But I will, let me look at it and see what will make a good background. Let's try to find a picture of, let's see, without telling you what my list is about, because I like to reveal that during the show. Let's see if there's a picture of Fantasia Gardens mini golf. Does that give you a clue what my list is about? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. So let me go to Google and let's see if there's an image that I can borrow that's of this. I am looking. You can't see it. I am looking at images of Fantasia Gardens, Papa. I thought there would be immediately be a good image that I could use. Let's see. Oh, that one's really small. That was a good image, but it was too small. I want a larger image that I can use. I know you can't see this. Let's see. How about this one? Ooh, huge, but it's not very dynamic. Let me just come over here now. Let me share my screen again. Okay. So back over to my thumbnail. We've got... Let me drop that in here. Okay, it is a huge image. So I need to reduce its size so it fits. Look how big. All right. I'm going to hit the Shift key as I click and drag on the corner of the image. And it's still crazy big, but let's get it to fit. And I'm hitting the Shift key so that the proportion of the picture is not changed. So if I were to drag the corner without hitting the Shift key and I drag, see how it stretches? I don't want that. I want it to remain, I want it to have its same, ratio width to height. So if I hit Shift while I do it, it maintains that. So let me just fill the screen there with it. Hit Enter. Now, do I want... oh, I like that. I like that. I like how the flag is right there in the middle. You can tell what it is. Okay. That's good. Great. Okay. So now, let's change the font color of my date here. June. Here's the date over here. Grab my type tool, and up here I can change its color, or down here I can change the color. You can see that box of orange, red-ish color. So I can click that, and then this eyedropper comes up, so I can click on something in the image. Let's say the green of the grass down here, and it selects that green in the color picker here. I don't love that color green, but you can see what it did. So it changed the color of the font to what I selected. There's not a lot in this picture that isn't green, except maybe the sky. Let me try the sky and see what that looks like. So I come up here, move this out of the way, and then select this blue. And kind of like that, but I don't like the color of the glow around the word. It needs to be darker. So I'll come over here and change the color. Before I do that, let me zoom in so you can see it better. There we go. And I'll move it over here. See, the word here, gathers at 7:30. That has a black outline or glow. The title of the live stream, Tuesday Night Live Stream, has a white outline or glow, but it's much more diffused, and it looks more like a glow. This down here looks more like an outline. And the date has more of an outline, but I want to make it darker. So I'll click this box, and clicking this here, if I just make it, if I make it black, it looks like it disappeared. There's red. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make it. Let me just select that. It looks like it, when I made it black, it looks like it disappeared. I don't know enough about Photoshop to know why that happened. But let's, might have something to do with the blend mode up here. So if I go to normal, there it is. Okay. So now the date pops a little bit better. Oh boy. So the only thing to change now is what it says at the bottom. I generally just put the Sunshine Nation gathers at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I always have a top 15 list. And then I don't know what else I'll be talking about on Tuesday. So I do not yet have mail. Right now, as it stands, I don't have mail to share on the show. But I am going to change that to something a little more generic. So here's I'm going to highlight that layer, select the type tool, come down here, and I'll just put discussing general Disney nonsense. Did I spell that right? Nonsense. No, I did spell it right. That's correct, right? Nonsense. The great thing about the word nonsense is if you misspell it, you can play it off as if you did it on purpose. Going with that nonsense theme. All right. So there, that's good. I can maybe make it a little lower. There. And that'll do. Again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. Patrick! Zippity Doodad is here. Welcome. Just making thumbnails. Let's see. Save this. Save as JPEG. And it will be the June 9th show. So... right? Yeah, June 9th. Okay. So I'll have that ready to go for my show next Tuesday. I've been on for an hour and a half. That's good. I am starving. Detroit Disney Duo is here. You are the 5th Michiganders to join us here in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Jonathan Chong was here too. I have not been paying attention to the chat. Just popping in for a minute. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you everybody for being here and watching my nonsense, bearing with me through the difficulties at the beginning of the live stream. But this is now going on my playlist for everything on the channel. So if you are so inclined, please go to that playlist. Just let it play as you go to bed at night. Just let it play on your computer or wherever, and help me with my watch hours. But that's it. Next time you'll see me is Saturday for 5 Foolish Mortals on the Disney Nerd Herders channel. I'm about to send Charlie the thumbnail I just made for that show. So everybody, thank you so much, and have a great day. I'll see you soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.